Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. I hope that you guys are having a absolutely wonderful one out there, wherever you may be. Today, let's go ahead and dive into a little bit from Slayer's debut studio album. I've never even seen this album cover. Honestly looks like a wrestler or something. Anyways, off of the album Show No Mercy, we are going to listen to the track Crionics, the second to last track here on the album. We are listening to this because this was recommended by S. Sharmer. So S. Sharmer, thank you so much for the recommendation. Thank you so much for the suggestion. You said that this is quite different from what we've heard from Slayer. Of course, we've listened to the classic album Rain and Blood and another track here and there. But you said that this one's quite different. So I'm curious to hear what's different about it. You know, where it kind of lies in their sound, their beginnings, of course. So let's go ahead and dive on in. Let's go ahead and explore it a little bit. We'll discuss it a little bit after. Here we go. I like that riff. Ooh, hitting that power metal note there. Man, just get every riff in this one. There, in 2 minutes, we have gone through a lot of riffs already. Oh, man. I like how the second guitar came in there. Kind of more chaotic. You know, okay, so it's pretty interesting hearing this from their debut. First of all, sounds like they're quite polished even in their debut. There's nothing here lacking or, you know, that tells me, oh yeah, this is amateur hour or this is their beginning or anything of that nature. No, this sounds extremely polished and very well done. In 3 minutes and 29 seconds, just a bowl full of riffs. Just a mixing bowl filled with riffs, and then they just slam them out there. every so often. And not having a ton of experience with Slayer, but listening to at least one album and a song here or there from them, this definitely comes across a lot lighter. The riffs, while heavy in a way, they're not as heavy as we've heard in like Rain and Blood or anything like that. So there's a little bit of a lighter touch there, but the speed is very much intact. The speed, it's not playing at this particular speed. I wouldn't call this anywhere near speed metal or power metal. Nothing like that. But it does have that particular movement. It does have that particular direction. So I like how they don't necessarily take the pedal off the gas. The gas is fully enacted here and fully enabled. And I like what they do with it in light of playing those light, more melodic riffs. You get a lot of, I don't know what they're called, but hammer-ons, hammer-offs, like that. And I like how on the back end of the track, how that eventually leads into the solo. And you can hear the two guitarists, of course, Kerry King and Jeff Hanneman, going back and forth briefly in this track in their duel, as they kind of have a little moment there. And I would imagine in a live setting that they probably go back and forth, maybe a few more measures just to extend it out on a live version. But I do like how their solos worked really well together. I don't know who's performing the first solo or who's doing the second. Couldn't tell you because I'm just listening. However, I can tell you that I did like how as the first solo was happening, the second solo began to kind of play these, I don't even know, they kind of sounded like bombs going off and sounds of war and battle happening in the back. And then little by little, you heard that kind of come into its own as the second guitarist came in and fulfilled their duty on this second solo. I just thought that was kind of an interesting way of doing that and transitioning between the two solos instead of just like a quick pass off, like a relay race, I guess you could say. Singing was great as well. Tom Araya on bass and vocals here. Lombardo and drums. They're all doing a fantastic job. I like how Araya even has, a little bit of a higher, perhaps more youthful voice here, and briefly, but wonderfully hitting that higher notes in the track as well. Just a fun metal track. To me, this sounds like a fun metal track. And I think I still think that it kind of actually reminds me of Iron Maiden a little bit in the sense that like they have that gallop, they have that speed, while not getting too heavy, just the right amount. And I still think that the cover, it's like, is that their mascot, like their perhaps original mascot that they were going for in the cover art? Eyes upon me, watching me in my perpetual sleep, dreams deceive me, my future depends on a mindless dream. I've fallen from promises, damned to take risk of my own. The masterful science that freezes your mind and your soul. The wretched dream is realized the human race is to be crystallized. Thoughts of laughter filling the head of the master in charge. Worlds of wonder, is this a cure or a painless death? Is Crionics kind of off of chronic? Like a problem that is just embedded in society to the point of paralyzation or crystallization, as he says. And he's saying, is this a cure? Or like, are we being put into a, for lack of a better word, an almost medical coma, symbolically? And is this going to be a cure, or is this just a long road to death? I'll fight and resist till they all see the end is near. The doctors, the lawyers, the G-men are living in fear. Living my life with one distant hope, a cure that will kill this invisible foe. Who is the invisible foe? I mean, I have to imagine that in a way it's the faceless doctors, lawyers, and G-men. And I ain't talking about Faceless, the band, even though great band, obviously. That's what I feel. I feel like this whole track, when I'm looking at the lyrics now, can be summed up to a paralyzing paranoia, is how I read this. And, these eyes watching upon him even as he sleeps. That's what I'm thinking. The masterful science that freezes your mind and soul. That's something. I could, of course, be wrong, but I think that's what it's about. We can do a quick anything, nothing. Well, I'm sticking with that then. I'm sticking with exactly then with what I said. S. Sharmer, thank you so much for the recommendation. Thank you for the suggestion, the support. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know, of course, what you guys thought about it in the comments down below. I hope that you enjoyed the music. Hope you enjoyed your stay here. Slide on back in tomorrow. You never know what we're doing, but I hope we're doing something that you're enjoying. And otherwise, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you later. Bye, guys.